VA Claims Insider is facing a two-pronged attack from the Texas Attorney General and a class action lawsuit from various VA accreditations like attorneys and agents. Should you be worried if VA Claims Insider filed your VA disability claim? Every time I do one of these, I get tons of hate comments, so let me share my thoughts on this company. Then I'll tell you if you should be worried if they filed your claim, or you use Telemedica for a Nexus letter, or whatever company that they have going on. First, I firmly believe that this company has helped an untold number of veterans, and there is no denying that. Both their actual free education on YouTube and, of course, their paid services, although they are predatory and misleading. That is according to the Texas Attorney General and this class action lawsuit. To be clear, that's not according to me. I'm a nobody. I just read what was in the motions to file. Personally, these companies are not my cup of tea, and if you watch this channel, you probably know that by now. The reason these companies exist, and I'm calling out VA Claims Insider specifically because they have the Texas AG and the class actions going on, but there are many, many companies that exist. And the reason for that is a direct failure of the VA in many veteran service organizations. Not all, but many. There are certainly solid VSO reps out there that do great work, and if you can find one of them, hang on to them tight because they're not easy to come by. Now, if you had VA Claims Insider or Veterans Guardian, or you name your company help you, and whatever the definition of help you means with your VA claim, you have nothing to worry about. In fact, if the Texas Attorney General gets their way in court, VA Claims Insider is on the hook to pay each and every veteran back. And yes, you heard that correctly. Do I think that'll happen? Be honest with you, I have no idea. It's not my line of work. I would assume VA Claims Insider has assets that are allocated elsewhere. Their business, the way they form their business is airtight, and filing bankruptcy is a thing. Again, not my lane, but it's possible that you can get your money back, assuming the Texas Attorney General gets their way. Now, from a VA's perspective, if you had your Nexus letter or DBQ completed by one of the sister companies of these organizations, like Telemedica or whoever else, I want this to be clear as day. The VA is not going to look into your claim whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. I've had lots of comments from veterans that were worried, so I wanted to put that to rest. The VA has their hands tied with a huge backlog from the PACT Act and all the other claims coming down. OIG is on the VA's case about every 5 seconds and has been for years, but it is very important to note that the VA OIG did find indications of fraud in their last report of January 4th, 2024, which was just a few weeks ago. I have a video on that. I'm going to leave it in the pinned comments. I'm not saying if you use this service, you committed fraud, but if fraud is found, the VA has the obligation to investigate, and that's a whole different story that you really do not want to be a part of. So you can see how someone would be worried when using a Nexus letter mill associated with a company that the VA has sent cease and desist letters to and is battling on two fronts with the Texas Attorney General and that class action lawsuit. That could raise your anxiety surrounding the whole situation, but stand firm. If you had your claim helped by one of these companies, specifically VA Claims Insider, you are good to go. There's nothing to worry about. You can breathe. It's no secret that I don't like these companies, but my opinion literally means nothing. I'm just a dude in his basement making YouTube videos and sharing my opinion. Now look, There is no right or wrong answer when it comes to this, if you agree with their practices or not. It's completely okay for a veteran to agree with and choose to conduct business with these companies. It's also completely okay for a veteran like myself to disagree and voice that opinion. So don't get your panties in a bunch. It's not a big deal. You can breathe. Just relax. Texas Attorney General is hitting VA Claims Insider from a Texas state consumer law perspective with misleading and predatory practices, as well as using Title 38, which is federal, and proof that VA Claims Insider did actually help present a veteran's claim, which is objectively illegal. Again, not according to me, but according to the motion to file filed by the Texas Attorney General. I'm a nobody. The class action lawsuit brings in a legal analysis paid for by VA Claims Insider after the VA sent cease and desist letters. Now get this, against the legal report paid by VA Claims Insider, VACI doubled down and continued to conduct business as usual. So ignoring the cease and desist letters and ignoring the legal analysis that they paid for. The problem with this business model is that it's against Title 38, again, which is federal. Another problem with this business model is that VA Claims Insider is conducting an illegal practice and taking clients away from a legal practice. That is the class actions argument in a nutshell. You have these accredited attorneys and claims agents playing by the rules, and then you have this business not playing by the rules and taking clients. You could see how that would make a good legal argument. I am unaware of any statements made from VA Claims Insider that presents their counter arguments against these allegations. This is something that only time will tell, and we will see what happens. I'll tell you this. If VA Claims Insider goes to court, they battle in court, and they win in court, I will delete every single baloney talking video I have of that practice. Not just a VA Claims Insider, but every claims consulting company. However, if the opposite happens, I'm going to celebrate with the homies. Regardless, if you're a veteran, you can absolutely use this service. It's not my recommendation by any means, but like Eazy-E says, ain't no such thing as bad publicity. So you're very welcome. All I ask is that before you decide to use one of these companies, whether that's VA Claims Insider, Veterans Guardian, some Air Force dude selling a facility claim package, whatever that option is for you, before you do that, try and file your own claims. You need to understand what it is you want to file, why it should be service connected, and at a minimum, submit a current diagnosis or documented symptoms and a treatment plan, then submit the claim. Either you do it yourself or through a VSO, whatever that looks like. If you do that, at least you would have your presumptive claims won and would most likely have your easy claims won or relatively easy claims, and then heck, you might even be at 100% out the gate yourself without knowing. The magic is you don't need to know anything. You submit your claim, let the VA do VA stuff. You just submit your claim, and that's at a bare minimum, okay? Now, ideally, you would submit an evidence-based claim, and I'm going to tell you what that actually looks like if you want to go just one step above basic. Every claim needs these three aspects to be service connected. No more, no less. The first one is the in-service event. Something happened while you were active duty or reserve and guard that caused this condition, or it manifested while you were active and you went to medical for that condition. Even a one-liner complaint would do the trick here. That's called the in-service event. Something happened to cause this from your active time. The second thing every claim needs is a current diagnosis. Generally speaking, you want to submit every single claim with a current diagnosis, and current meaning within 1 year. Now, it's important to note that VA healthcare is not quick to diagnose because they are healthcare focused, as they should be. They don't care about disability. That's a whole other department within the VA. So, documented symptoms and a treatment plan is a golden medical evidence for current diagnosis. Now, sometimes the VA does give a diagnosis, and that'll come out as an ICD or SCT code in your VA medical records. You can download your VA medical records, hit Control F, and just type in ICD, see what pops up, hit Control F, type in SCT, and see what pops up. The last thing you need, and I don't recommend you submit this with your claim because a C&P examiner will be required to complete a disability benefits questionnaire and submit a medical opinion on your claim. This is called the Nexus, and the Nexus will link your current diagnosis to your active military time. That is what establishes service connection. And yes, you can do this all on your own by following a very quick tutorial I have on YouTube, or just going to va.gov, spending about 15 minutes, and submit your claim.